Today is Friday, September 16th. The year is 2022. And guess who's here harassing me at my feet? Guess who is here harassing me at my feet? Come here, you bad doggy. Say hi. Hi, I had my surgery and I got my eye fixed. And now I'm just being a pest and I'm just running around here and I don't want to go outside and play. And I just want to harass my daddy right here, y'all. So he had his eye fixed. He ain't a happy camper because he got this beautiful bonnet on to keep him from scratching the surgery out. So he's been grouchy as hell the past 24, 48 hours since he's had the surgery. Actually, the surgery was very good. His eye looks great. He hasn't had any issues. They put his medicine in his eye. Had to feed him because he can't really eat with this thing. You know, he a little puppy. Oh, he a little puppy, a little baby. So he been, the funny part is he had the surgery. He been running around, laying down, just laying on the floor. Instead of all that ripping and running, I'm going to keep this little bonnet on his ass for a little while longer to calm his ass down. Because he can't run around like he used to with this blocking the way. It's just awful, ain't it? It's terrible. Yes, it is. I know it's terrible. But I've been getting a lot of sleep because his ass been zonked out. Give him that painkiller medicine and he goes right on out. Boom. Now, go play. So anyway, when I bought this house, well, first off, I hadn't planned on buying a house. Some things happened this year. Some things happened. Let me pause this phone because I was having some conversations with some of my clients, and now they all responding when I get on hold on. This is now my mother. Excuse me. I'm trying to get her stuff together. All right. So, as I said, I brought this home, and I wanted to buy a home in Miami. My goal was to buy a house in Miami that would allow me to go live in Miami part-time at Airbnb when I was there, since I love Miami so much. The housing market was so insane in Miami. It was just crazy, and it still is crazy. So regardless of what people are saying about the housing market slowing down, all this shit, Miami, and niggas, them folks still down there with cash to spend. And so lately, you know, as I finished up this house here, I've been working in the yard, cleaning stuff up around here, getting some excess trash that was around the basement area and getting it all now little by little to the curb. There are still people out here looking for houses. For some reason, this area seems to attract a lot of people from out of New York, Connecticut, California. These are big houses, big houses, y'all. I'm talking about massive houses. All these houses over here. Many of them need work. Ain't been touched in years. Like this house hadn't been touched in decades. A little bit of work the previous owner did. Y'all, we were literally pulling shit out this house from the 70s in here that was rusted out and throwing it. I'm like, this shit is still in here. Light fixtures and all kinds of shit just had to be removed and tossed out of here. Anyway, long story short, as I've been working on this house, I've had people approach me about wanting to buy this house. They want to buy it. Is it for sale? Are you going to sell it? It's almost like people have a hard time believing that a black person could live in a house like this. I mean, I'm serious. The first thing, everybody that walked into this house and said, oh, you must be flipping this house because clearly your black ass cannot afford to live here. You must be flipping it. I'm thinking more. I mean, it's kind of the thought process I kind of get from everybody because they come, I'm like, no, I'm living in this house. You live here? And like they're in shock. I'm like, why can't we have nice homes that we work on? And anyway, a guy came in here a day ago. He was coming in here to help do something here in the house. And I had been waiting months to get this particular individual out here. And he walked into it and he said, man, this is one of the nicest houses I've ever seen. You have to sell this house. You need to sell it down. I was like, well, I really don't want to say this. It's like something out of a magazine. He was like, man, my gosh, he was just walking around and he was just every room going around while we were taking care of our issues here in the house. Older house, tons of issues that I'm fixing or had fixed. The previous owners didn't do it. And so I get these unsolicited unsolicited offers, because again, as we move into fall, people want to, they want people who are possibly looking for a home or trying to run around trying to find something now because it's getting closer. The weather's starting to get cooler. People who are still looking, and there are homes for sale in this area, but some of them need substantial work, or they're $1.89 million. The last house that I saw that sold that was close to my square footage, that house sold for $1.8 million. And I was surprised. And I was like, oh, and it sold in days. And the person paid cash for it. And they don't have a lot of houses like that. That was a big house that was done, like my house is done. I did the work to it here. I keep telling people I renovated houses before in the past. So this was not a complicated project for me. It was just at 52 years of age. It was a doozy though. It is for the most part done. I'm enjoying the house now, get to decorate and put little flowers out and sweep and blow the leaves and stuff. That's what my folks called me on the blowing the leaves yesterday. When you gonna sell it? What are you gonna do? There's always this one couple that's been looking for a while. I said, you haven't found a house yet? They haven't found one that they like with a level lot. They got some issues they looking for over here. And I said, keep looking, you'll probably find it. Let us know if you want to sell. And then I tell y'all, hey, come here. Get over here. It's like, as soon as I started talking, he started making a racket and noise. Come here. But anyway, so needless to say, I know I'm started off talking about the house, my home, and all this other stuff, but it's starting to get chilly outside. In fact, I have the door open. I'm enjoying a nice cool breeze coming in. The air conditioner's off. I turned all the bitches off. Turn that shit off. I don't need that no more. At least not right now. Supposed to get back in the 90s next week, but this is the 16th. We can just get to this next few weeks. And the weather's cool. This house is well insulated, so it should be nice to see over the next few weeks. In fact, I was online looking for a window fan for the bedroom, and I was sticking a window just to kind of slim little fan. It make a nice housewarming gift. Yeah, I'm sticking in that window. But anyway, it's that time of the year, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It's that time when the weather starts to get chilly and everybody begins to look for a place to hunker down for the winter time. Bears hibernate this time of the year. People start looking for nice warm places. This is the time the homosexuals start looking for a place to lay their head for the winter time. It's that time. It's homosexual season. That's right. I gotta talk about this. We have been dealing with inflation and high prices, high rents, high food. Everything's hella expensive this year. So y'all know these people are scurrying around here like rodents and rats trying to find where they gonna lay their heads at to get to these winter months. So be careful. I'm sure you got people in your DMs, people on your phone call, they text message you, they email you. That cute Johnny that you've been keeping an eye on for the past, all of a sudden he getting closer. He texting you all these love letters and whispering in your ear, nibbling on your neck, and nibbling on your ear and saying all this sweet shit when he come over and all that stuff. That nigga need a place to stay. Don't be fooled. That nigga need a place to stay. He looking for a place to lay his head for the next few months until the weather break and come where, depending on where you live out in Georgia, our break brother tends to break like January, February, February, March. We tend to, start to warm up. So they got to get through these next few months because when we hit October, it's going to get chilly. Starting to get a little bit in September 16th. So they got a little while. By October, they really need to be having their boxes and bags headed to somebody's front door. So you got October, November, December, January, February, March. Now that's just down here because up there, I think y'all might still have some winter months, April, up there. And at least when I was a kid, my birthday is April 9th, and we used to have snow outside occasionally, all the time. So, I hated that snow. I hate it. I don't go no place with no snow at because I grew up in that snow. I don't see that shit. But anyway, these people are now running around. They have got to start identifying their victims. and begin looking for a place to stay. They've been searching. It's like these people when I'm around here were emailing me and flagging me down on top of the hill. Is it hell? They're looking for a place to go. It's starting to get a little chilly outside. You can't, everybody needs to begin the process. A lot of people don't realize home sales are pretty solid in the fall too, depending on, people like to have a home by the holidays and everything. But a homosexual, they know different. They want to be home by the holidays too. They like to know they have a place to stay by the holidays. The question is, just make sure they're not staying with you for the holidays. Now, I know that some of y'all are right now watching this video and texting these bums. Hey, Johnny's so cute. Well, you better listen and hear me well. Johnny ain't shit. Johnny just needs a place to fucking lay his head. And when Johnny get in that house, you're gonna have a hard time getting that son of a bitch out of there until the winter weather break. Do not let Johnny's sexy ass in your house. You be a fool. Text Johnny. Laugh with Johnny. Hell, fuck Johnny. Who cares? Don't let that nigga in your house. Johnny, you cannot stay here. I'm sorry. But we get married. I don't care. When we get married, that's when you hold on to your Christian values, y'all claim. Telling you believe in sex before marriage, but you believe in shacking up before marriage. Don't let Johnny in there. Don't let Johnny, Mark, David, Zion, D'Angelo, Defacata, none of the Africans do it too. Don't let them in there. All these niggas and white folks do it too. Looking for a place to stay right about now. We are going into homosexual season. They have hunkering down. They're looking for their victims. They're doing everything in their power. Flowers, trips, candy, any damn thing. They don't want to do any damn thing but go get their own damn place and pay the rent. They want you to pay the rent. They might give you a little bit on it, baby. Most time they ain't give your ass shit, maybe with some sex. You can get the sex on your own. You don't need his ass up in your house eating it. While you at work, they done rammed up your heat to 90 degrees. Sitting up there know all the latest soap operas. You're like, this nigga watch soaps? I didn't know he watched soap. Are you watching soap? Is that guy Mike? You watching All My Children? I thought they took that off the air. Is that General? This nigga sitting in my house watching General Hospital while I'm at work. That nigga will be sitting in your house. Johnny sexy ass gonna get up and go to the gym and get back there in time to catch General Hospital. I know that soap's still on. Do you really want that? And at nighttime, he'll be all snuggle up next to you. You think, he really loved me. He give me your sucker. You didn't turn the heat down from 90 degrees. Now that nigga cold in there. So he trying to get some body heat, trying to snuggle up next to you. Don't fall for it. Do not be a victim to the homosexual season. It happens every year around this time. When you start seeing pumpkins, Halloween decorations, corn cobs, and all the pretty fall decorations, we are in the midst of homosexual season. Be careful. Be careful, because this is when they're out hitting them streets, searching, trying to find somewhere, a place to lock into. Don't you be victim to these idiots and their bullshit. And it happens to everyone. We've all been victim to this bull crap before. Good thing I had a rule with nobody laying up next to me in my home. Let's see, I'm trying to think, did anybody ever live with me? I don't know. I was pretty aggressive about getting niggas away from me that went about shit. I'm trying to think, I really didn't start living with nobody. To be honest with you, the first person I lived with in a relationship, lived with was Earl. That was in 1998. Worst mistake ever, but still did. It's still going on now. That worst mistake ever. That's a whole nother series of videos to be completed one day. But anyway, 1998. So my early 90s, I wasn't into all that you come and shack up with me bullshit. Hell no. I wasn't playing that bullshit. I just didn't trust niggas. Niggas ain't about shit. They ain't about shit. Hey! This damn dog. Ooh, Lord. But this thing about, I said cut it out. He trying to scratch that thing. We think he's scratching, but he's actually scratching that bonnet on his head. Now he's just stumbled outside on the deck. I need to run over there and slam that door shut while you're out there. Y'all should see how he stumble around with that thing on his head and barely walk. He just lost, can't see. I'm gonna throw some food down here. He find it. I smell it. His nose just go to work. Oh, there it is. He found that damn food. Oh, mutt. Keep in mind the people you deal with this fall. In many instances, some of these guys have been working on you since earlier this year. And a good homosexual will start identifying people that they want to deal with in the fall in the spring. They done came out and looked at your house, and you look at the furniture, and look at the couch, and laid on the couch, and say, oh, this is comfortable. They got in bed, and the bed's comfortable, the hot water's good, the shower's nice and strong. You know, they check all this shit out. You know, they're like, okay, the good shower, they got a checklist. Shower's good, bed is nice and firm, couch is comfortable, she got cable TV and the internet works, so I can get my phone. You know, all that stuff, they making sure that everything's perfect before they zone in on your ass and go in for the kill. They gonna show up with some old fake wedding ring, cheap ring they didn't probably stole from someplace. I guess y'all take that shit and make sure you go get. Don't put that. They show up with these little fake rings. I want to marry you. Make sure that shit is real. Go get it tested. In fact, you don't want that damn ring. Your finger been turn green and go. You be at the emergency room. They got to cut the finger off your finger, the hand, and swole. All you need is cheap ring. Don't fall for that one, honey. But they're gonna come. They're out there searching. They're identifying their victims. In many cases, the victim is you. That's right, you, who I'm talking to. You know it. You feel it. You're not sure. You know, Johnny talking all this sweet shit. Y'all did some cute little things in the summertime. Y'all done went down to Jacksonville Beach and swam in the ocean. Maybe, you know, he went to your mama's house and hung out there doing the cookout and stuff. And, you know, I can tell y'all some stories about people that I met over the years who I strongly feel were only around me because I was in a financially better situation. And I was like, what is this person really running around here with me for? I'm going to see your mother. I'm going with you. I'll never forget this one cat. We would go see he went to every cookout I had, family members, all my sister, and everything, just hanging out something. I was just like, but financially, this man was in trouble. He hadn't paid his mortgage in months. And I really didn't know he was desperately trying to get me to move in with him. And I was just like, dude, and the place that he had, there was no place for me to park my car because he had a garage, but he had these raggedy cars in the garage. And there was no place for me to park. He's talking about I could park 2 blocks over. I'm going to park 2 blocks over, but my shit is more valuable than I got to park so far. We get these raggedy cars out of this garage. But I suspected he needed somebody to help him pay his bills over there. I ain't no fool. Very attractive guy. I was like, okay, now wait a minute. I know you attracted to me. I mean, I ain't bad looking, but this is ridiculous. I mean, you come on now. Ain't nobody pursued me that aggressively forever. That nigga needed some help financially. So he needed me to move in and help pay his bills. And we probably would have had a good time together and everything would have been fine. This was before I met Earl. But financially, he was in too deep and he didn't know how to get out of his situation. And he required a lot of help. When I mean help, he just wasn't a hustler. And I was trying to show him how to hustle and do different things. He had a business that he did, but he didn't know how to hustle his business. It's just he didn't have really business sense. And in fact, I'll never forget it because he moved here from Mississippi. I'll never forget this. He was working for some company. He went off on his own trying to do his own thing. And that's when he got in financial trouble because he was trying to do his own thing. Now, eventually he did get on his feet. And many years later, by that time I was in a relationship with Earl. He was on his feet, but he had lost that house. In fact, I helped him to acquire another home, but he had lost that townhouse he had because of the foreclosure back then. And the only reason he lost the townhouse because he held on to it, and he should have sold it when he had an opportunity. That's just another video. But anyway, the whole point of that is we've all been victims. We all have had people pursue us for financial gain or a place to stay. Everyone, whether you will accept this or not. You know, somebody could be fresh out of college. Somebody you've known for years, somebody you dated. This is something that happens very black men for some odd reason, and I know it transcends all races, sexualities, and everything. But y'all, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. These niggas ain't about shit. They always need a place to stay. And I've learned this years ago about these black guys. They always need somewhere to go. Not all. But I've met guys who had graduated. I had a guy I had met who had graduated from Harvard Law School, but needed a place to stay. I couldn't figure this out. You know, he run around Atlanta trying to find a place to stay. And at this time, I was living in Stone Mountain in my own home. And I was like, he's like, can he rent a room? Can he stay there? And I was like, I don't rent a room. I rent a room over here. Why don't you go get your own apartment? But for some odd reason, he just couldn't. I don't remember the details of all this. But I knew that nigga had graduated from Harvard Law School. And he was still running around sitting on his ass. And I'm like, why aren't you at work? See, just because this is when I found out, just because you got some fancy degree doesn't necessarily mean it's going to translate to some high-paying job. And so I guess he had graduated from Harvard Law School, and I don't know what the deal was, didn't really care, but he ended up not staying in Atlanta because he couldn't find what he was looking for. And white folks wouldn't hire his ass. They didn't care about that old fancy degree. He ended up going back up north, which he probably was better off. Be careful, because just because somebody got a fancy degree, you may say, oh, he's an attorney, or he's a doctor. They got homosexuals in all walks of lives. Some people don't financially know how to manage their funds. Not only do they not know how to manage their funds, they don't know how to manage any damn thing in life. They have to pay their bills on time, credit is jacked up, and they need your help. A place to stay in for you to sit there and be their accountant. I've encountered this crazy stuff. And when they get on their feet and they get them credit issues corrected that you've helped them figure out, and they get on financial path to success, guess what the niggas gonna do? Poof, like I Dream of Jeannie. They go, where'd he go? What happened to Johnny? I thought Johnny loved my ass. I thought Johnny said he wanted to be. Johnny got what he needed out of you. A couple of warm months of food, bed, blankets, clean clothes, hot water, cable TV. He caught up on all the General Hospital episodes. He been watching back 5 years. Got on his self feet. Well, in many instances, they move on to the next victim. Don't you be the first victim. It's homosexual season. I have to do this every year because so many of you all fall for this bullshit. I have seen it. I read these messages. People contact me. Let me tell you what happened. I say, oh, here we go. Did we talk about this? Just like I tell you niggas to stay the fuck out of Atlanta. Stay out of Atlanta. Stay out of Atlanta. Stay out of Atlanta. But guess what y'all do? Y'all love Atlanta. I tell you, stay the fuck out of Atlanta. But you run to Atlanta. But you saw my videos. You heard what I said about Atlanta. But you here now. I'm here. And everything you said is true, Walter. Well, I warned your ass. What do I think I'm doing these videos for? Well, of course I'm doing this so I can pay my bills over here. I ain't stupid over here. If I don't pay my bills, I'm going to be a homosexual running around here trying to find somebody's couch to lay up on. Except ain't nobody going to let me in there to lay up on their damn couches. My ass in trouble. I've yet been able to go to anybody's house and lay on their couch. Because I was paying all the rent. All of it. I get to, though. So I best keep my own home and pay my own bills. Fuck that shit. Now, you've been warned. Today is Friday, September 16th, the beginning of homosexual season. It happens every year. When you begin to see that, then, like I say, fall decorations. You know, the weather gets a little chilly like it is today. I think the temperature is about 70-something, 60-something degrees outside. It's supposed to get to the high of 85 like a girl. I think today is... The weather is going to be it's 68 right now. It's going to get to a high of 80, 82. Won't get too hot. Tomorrow, the weekend, Monday, is going to get up to the 89. Next week, we'll be back in the 90s. I think that'll be our last week in the 90s because fall officially starts next week sometime, or week after next. Homosexual season is upon us. A celebration for those who have no place to go. They're out looking. And they're looking to lock in a place now. Make sure it ain't your couch or your comfortable bed, your warm home. Today is Friday, September 16th, the year is 2022. I'm out of here and enjoy the rest of your day.